Hello everyone, and welcome to my channel General Hospital Official. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Alexis goes vengeful Cassadine on Cyrus, and Sam's mom gets the ultimate payback? According to General Hospital spoilers, Alexis Davis has discovered that Sam McCall's death was purposeful, and she has embarked on a mission of retribution. Alexis intends to locate and hold accountable the person responsible for Sam's digitalis overdose, so it won't be long before she targets Cyrus Renault. Characters such as Lucas Jones, Lucky Spencer, Elizabeth Baldwin, and Jocelyn Jacks are already certain Cyrus is responsible for the run of fatalities in Port Charles. Alexis has recently initiated an investigation, so she will receive updates on all of Cyrus' allegations soon. Once Cyrus is identified as the top suspect, Alexis will be even more motivated to exact retribution and put an end to this menace for good. Losing Sam was a shattering blow for all of her loved ones, but it appears that Alexis took it the hardest. It was painful to see Alexis snuggle up next to Sam's body, lamenting the short time she had with her daughter. However, Alexis' melancholy will fade into the background as her wrath takes over this tale. Will Alexis be enraged enough to completely embrace her Cassadine side and defeat Cyrus herself? Alexis may feel that prison is too good for Cyrus and determined to make him suffer the same fate as Sam. This might provide fantastic material for Alexis and excitement for GH fans who want Cyrus held accountable. Even if Alexis is unable to eliminate Cyrus, her plotting could provide some dramatic moments. It would be entertaining to see Alexis take matters into her own hands and make an attempt on Cyrus' life. Alexis may risk returning to prison in pursuit of vigilante justice, so we'll keep you updated on her potential Cyrus-related movements. Will Alexis be the one to kill Cyrus, or will someone else do it in the end? According to General Hospital spoilers, Cyrus will receive some unpleasant news in the near future, so don't miss out on all the fun moments. General Hospital spoilers, Alexis gets justice for Sam's death. Does she deal with Cyrus the Cassadine way? According to General Hospital previews, on the Wednesday, January 29th episode, Alexis Davis discovered that Sam McCall's death was intentional, as Portia Robinson disclosed to the lawyer that her daughter's death was not the result of a hospital error, but rather murder. Alexis is already plotting retribution without knowing who is to blame, so what will she do when she discovers that Cyrus Renault was responsible for Sam's death? General Hospital spoilers, Alexis Davis may find out sooner rather than later. GH spoilers say that February sweeps month is only a few days away, so Cyrus digitalis for injections could appear shortly. Maybe the whole town won't find out, but Alexis might. After all, PCers such as Lucas Jones, Elizabeth Baldwin, Lucky Spencer, and Jocelyn Jacks assume Cyrus is responsible for all of the recent digitalis overdoses at the hospital, and someone may inform Alexis. However, she might overhear them discussing it, or tangible evidence linking Renault to these killings could emerge. So, what will happen next? GH spoilers, Alexis embraces her Cassadine roots. Sam's death devastated Alexis, and deservedly so. Losing a child of any age is a parent's worst dread. Especially because Sam died shortly after. She took a chance by donating her liver to Lulu Spencer, allowing the comatose mother to live. Still, when Alexis learns about Cyrus' activities, will some of her Cassadine roots emerge? Will she decide to take justice into her own hands, eliminating the offender as a sort of retribution and restitution for her daughter's death? Whether Alexis is successful in completing Cyrus is one thing, but the drama and pandemonium that would ensue as Ms. Davis devised a plot to kill the felon would be fascinating to behold. But could she follow through on it? Will Alexis retaliate against Cyrus by killing the criminal herself? General Hospital scandal, will Tracy and Cody really go there? Hey, she's not my cousin. One of our favorite relationships on General Hospital is the unusual one that has developed between quarter matriarch Tracy and mostly reformed bad boy Cody. Their mutual appreciation and understanding is so strong that you can feel it rather than simply see it. And not for nothing, the chemistry between Jane Elliott and Josh Kelly is rare. But will the show go so far as to depict a May/December romance between the two characters? Tracy does not particularly enjoy boy toys. But she knows there's more to Cody than meets the eye. As for him, let's be honest, he's been completely out of control since discovering Sasha was his cousin. Kelly believes that everything is possible and would be fine if it occurs. Aside from us, no one is more enthusiastic about Tracy and Cody's relationship than the actor himself. But I want more, he told Soap Opera Digest. He definitely loves her, she loves him. Where the castmates agree to disagree is the perfect storyline for their alter egos. Jane wants Cody to fleece Tracy, and I don't, Kelly says. I want everyone to believe he's trying to dupe her, but he's just like, no, we know precisely what this is and we like each other more than you guys. Plus, he says in character, I'm quite sure she isn't my cousin. Although most General Hospital viewers appear to like Tracy/Cody interactions as much as the actors do, would they prefer a more intimate relationship? Willow had risked everything for Drew Quartermaine, believing him to be the faithful, honest guy she required in her life. But reality was about to offer a harsh revelation. Drew had not only been unfaithful, but she had done it in the most unexpected way, by seeking consolation in the arms of her own mother, Nina Reeves. Willow's carefully created new existence was certain to be devastated by the news, weighing heavily on betrayal and self-reproach. She had abandoned her child's father, Michael Corinthos, in favor of a guy who had never genuinely valued her. The remorse of what she had put Michael through threatened to engulf her, and with each passing day, the beautiful image she had of Drew crumbled, leaving nothing but regret. Meanwhile, Harrison Chase was dealing with his own issues. He believed that his marriage to Brooklyn Quartermaine Chase was founded on love and trust. But secrets had a tendency of festering in the shadows, and Brooklyn's deception was far deeper than he could have anticipated. She had hidden her pregnancy from him under the excuse of preserving their future. The weight of such a secret, if revealed, would definitely rock Chase to the core. He had always felt that honesty was the cornerstone of any healthy relationship, yet the person he trusted the most had denied him the truth about something so important. The betrayal hit deep, leaving him feeling disoriented and disillusioned. Willow and Chase's respective heartbreaks left them vulnerable, seeking refuge in old places. It was unavoidable that their paths would cross in a state of weakness, with emotions running high and boundaries falling. Willow and Chase met a similar destiny as Michael, who sought consolation in Sasha Corbin's arms after his own tragedy. A shared bottle of wine, lingering emotions, and the sorrow of betrayal led them to a night neither of them had intended or could ever forget. But the consequences of that night would not be as readily forgotten. Chase, who had long considered himself incapable of fathering children, was taken aback when he found Willow was pregnant. Miracles were not completely out of the question in Port Charles, but this revelation triggered a chain reaction of events. Willow, torn between guilt and doubt, battled with what to do next. She had just recently begun to deal with the termination of her relationship with Drew, and now she was presented with an even more difficult decision. Chase, on the other hand, refused to abandon what he considered as his responsibilities. Regardless of what had happened between them, he would never abandon Willow or the child they had created. He'd spent years pining for a family, believing it was impossible, and suddenly he was confronted with the reality of parenthood. The question remained, where did this leave his marriage with Brooklyn? Would she consider this the final nail in the coffin of their already strained relationship? More importantly, did this impact Willow's feelings on Chase? The emotional storm threatened to destabilize everything. If Chase was the father, would it revive the love they previously shared? Or will it act as a sad memory of a night they both wish they could forget? And where does Michael fit into all of this? Willow had walked away from him before, but was this the moment she understood she had made the wrong decision all along? Port Charles was no stranger to startling twists and painful disclosures, and the consequences of this entanglement were bound to have an impact on everyone involved. Willow and Chase were on the verge of a precipice, one step away from a destiny none of them had imagined. And when the truth came out, one thing became crystal clear: their past was far from done, and the decisions they made next would permanently shape the direction of their lives. Brooklyn's past has a hidden truth. Since memories of childhood summers have reappeared among Bensonhurst residents, Cody's thoughts have turned to a hitherto unsaid romance between Brooklyn and Dante. That ephemeral summer encounter, which remained a hidden memory even when Carly enlisted Brooklyn to intervene between Dante and Lulu, suddenly appears far more crucial than anybody had thought. With whispers of a disguised pregnancy and a quiet adoption, all indicators point to Brooklyn having conceived Dante's child when they were teenagers. If that's the case, her mother, Lois, could have orchestrated the adoption behind closed doors, keeping the secret hidden for years. Enter Gio, a young man who was previously introduced as a relative but may be much more than that. Lois has been adamant that Gio is Brooklyn's son, but she has resisted telling who his father truly is. Is the truth what everyone assumes? Given Dante's history with Brooklyn and the young man's unwavering infatuation with law enforcement, it stands to reason that he fathered Gio. However, what if the truth is much more complicated? Could Brooklyn have strayed from her summer romance and been embroiled with another? Enter Cody, Dante's best friend, the one who remembers those camp days vividly and can still track Brooklyn's old tendencies with amazing precision. It would explain why Cody's yearning for that summer is so great, and why the memories remain so vivid in his mind. Perhaps these weren't just childhood memories, but something very intimate and life-changing that only he carried on. A physical resemblance, in addition to circumstantial clues, can be revealing. While Dante is an obvious suspect, Gio shares a striking resemblance to Cody, providing another layer of intrigue to this complicated web of secrecy. The fallout of the truth. If Cody is Joe's father, the consequences would be terrible. His budding passion with Emma was destroyed before it even began. Gio and Emma, who were supposed to be unrelated, were suddenly discovered to be second cousins. Their once promising relationship will turn into something impossible to pursue. And how about Cody himself? Losing Sasha was already a devastating loss, but knowing he has a son he had no idea about may offer him a new sense of purpose. Will he stand up and accept fatherhood? Or would the shock lead him back into previous self-destructive patterns? As the truth becomes clearer, Port Charles prepares for an emotional reckoning. Secrets never stay hidden forever, and this one is poised to burst in ways no one expects. Spoilers, Willow's bold move at Sasha's baby shower, is it a paternity scandal in the making? General Hospital spoilers and updates reveal that Sasha Gilmore Corbin is determined to conceal the identity of her baby's father, but the challenge is becoming increasingly difficult. When Michael Corinthos awoke from his anesthesia, he began asking questions about Sasha, which aroused Willow Corinthos' interest and piqued Carly Spencer's curiosity. General Hospital spoilers: there has been recent tension between Willow Tate and Sasha Gilmore. Tensions have been simmering between Willow and Sasha, and Michael's unexpected request for his ex will further exacerbate the issue. The narrative develops when Willow realizes that Sasha is pregnant, which could set off a chain reaction of emotions within her. As the pieces fall into place, Willow may begin to assume Michael is the father of Sasha's child. Despite her own infidelities, Willow is unlikely to remain silent about the betrayal she detects between Sasha and Michael, and she will begin accumulating evidence to support her opinion that Sasha's baby is Michael's. This developing tension has the potential to drive Willow to her breaking point, setting the stage for some major drama on the show, even though Michael is no longer involved. Spoilers: Sasha Gilmore has kept the baby daddy secret. Willow Tate will attempt to leak it wide open. Maxie Jones is determined to be a pillar of support for Sasha during her pregnancy, and it appears that she will host a baby shower for her buddy shortly. As Sasha revels in the excitement of celebrating and unwrapping gifts for her soon-to-be child, Willow may unexpectedly join the party, causing havoc. This could be the perfect opportunity for Willow to vent her rage over Sasha's concealed realities, leveling suspicions regarding paternity. Willow would leave the visitors in stunned silence as she pressed Sasha to admit that Michael is the biological father of her pregnant child. This confrontation might either reveal the details of Sasha's brief affair or force her to make up a tale about the father's identity. General Hospital spoilers: Jason Morgan, the baby daddy, will anyone believe it? Sasha may try to convince everyone that Jason Morgan is the father of her child, but the growing drama will eventually reveal the truth. He may even step up himself. Regardless, a baby shower could provide an ideal setting for Willow to confront Sasha, accusing her of having an affair with Michael and becoming pregnant as a result. This revelation could sever their already strained friendship, driving Willow to her breaking point. Our predictions indicate that another intense battle between Willow and Sasha is on the way, and we'll keep you updated on all of the resulting chaos. Upcoming spoilers indicate that once Sasha's pregnancy is disclosed, Willow may begin to doubt paternity, sparking yet another round of turmoil. Is the truth about Joe's parents revealed on General Hospital? There's more to the truth than anyone realizes. Brooklyn is debating whether she should reveal to her husband that she was once pregnant and gave up her child for adoption, while Chase mourns the fact that he will never be able to father children. But there's one component of stating the truth that could backfire: Dante's the father. It's unlikely that any viewers were surprised when Brooklyn reminded Lois that Dante is her baby's father. That has been suspected for months, given all of the rumors about Brooklyn and Dante dating during summer camp. But a larger twist is on the way when it's discovered that the baby Brooklyn gave up is Gio, something Lois knew all along. Aside from Brooklyn and Dante, Port Charles had some additional baby daddy news. Cody only spotted them having a moment of feeling the baby move after Sasha confirmed to Jason that Michael is the father. Cody likely assumed Jason was the father and proceeded to confide in Maxie, who was already aware of her friend's pregnancy. Meanwhile, Jason met with Diane and broke the news, well aware that it would have an impact on the custody fight. But, more crucially, he is concerned about Michael's rights and whether he agreed to the deal with Sasha. Do you think Jason, who is on his way to Germany to speak with Michael, will see Carly getting intimate with Brennan? Please let us know in the comments. Spoilers: does Dex's ghost stop Joss from killing Cyrus with his own gun? According to General Hospital spoilers, Jocelyn Jax will face off against Cyrus Renault, which is a risky idea. She expressed her fears to Lucas Jones, who encouraged her to be calm, but Jocelyn is a mini-me of her mother, Carly Spencer, and can't stop herself. Jocelyn knows Cyrus knifed Dex Heller, and she demands retribution. Will she become Cyrus's latest victim? General Hospital spoilers: Dex Heller's ghost whispers? Lucky Spencer and Elizabeth Baldwin are also pursuing Cyrus, albeit in a more subtle manner. We can tell you that during the week of January 27th to 31st, all three of them could work together to take down the ex-mobster. Jocelyn is now a volunteer at Turning Woods, and this could be her big break. Spoilers: Joss Jax is a wily coyote with Joss on the inside. She hopes to gather information on a pattern of patient cardiac arrests that will link Cyrus to them. Cyrus killed Dex and Sam McCall, as well as an unknown number of other innocents. However, Joss, like Carly, is never satisfied with sticking to the rules. We know Jocelyn has Dex's gun, and everything evidence points to her using it on Cyrus. General Hospital spoilers: will Joss Jax pull the trigger? How moving would it be for Ghost Dex to materialize and counsel Joss? Fans miss the character who is gone too soon, so perhaps this is the final opportunity for the public and Joss to respect his legacy. There is precedence for such a scene. Dex's ghost once appeared to Jocelyn in his uniform. Clearly, these two have a tremendous love, and one last ghostly visit could provide closure. Spoilers: what happens next in Port Charles, New York? Explosive General Hospital spoilers suggest that Jocelyn will go rogue in the coming days. What lengths will she go to get revenge on Cyrus for killing Dex? Will she be the one to finally take him down, or will Lucky, Liz, and Joss band together for justice? The weight of loss pressed down on Dante as he leaned against the bar, his hands securely wrapped around a glass he had yet to drink from. Chase sat across from him in quiet, knowing there was little he could say to soothe his friend's eyes. When Dante finally spoke, his voice was rough, bearing the weight of everything that had transpired. Sam didn't deserve this, he said quietly, shaking his head. She gave everything, and this is the end? It is not fair. Chase paused, selecting his words carefully. How does Rocco handle everything? Dante exhaled and rubbed his temple. I don't know yet. I haven't had the heart to tell him. I advised Lulu to reduce her risk-taking behavior. She was granted a second opportunity, and Sam paid for it. Every time I look at Lulu, I know I'll think about Sam. The admission lingered between them like an invisible burden neither of them could lift. Chase reached for his own glass, but the alcohol provided little comfort. Meanwhile, down by the docks, the soft waves lapped against the wooden planks, and Sasha stood with her hands protectively over her stomach. As she felt the tiny movement within her tummy, she was overcome with emotion. The baby just kicked, she said, her eyes wide with surprise. She grabbed Jason's hand and put it over the location. Do you feel that? Jason nodded, but his eyes moved over Sasha's shoulder to Cody, who stood watching, his visage clouded with something unspoken. Cody turned and retreated into the shadows before he could grasp what had just happened. Sasha returned her focus to Jason, oblivious to the onlookers. Michael and I agreed that I would raise this baby on my own. I don't need support from him or anyone else. Jason grimaced slightly. That's something I need to hear from Michael myself. Sasha's expression stiffened. Are you saying I'm a liar? That's not what I said, Jason said calmly. But maybe Michael has changed his mind. Perhaps that's why he's been trying to contact you. Sasha's irritability boiled over. Then go chat to him. But let him know I'm thinking about him. Brooklyn paced in front of her mother, hands clasped hard. I wish this was my problem, she said, her voice quivering. Chase is crushed. He will never be able to hold his own child, and he is grieving the loss of something he had always hoped for. Lois kept a tight eye on her daughter, her silence encouraging Brooklyn to continue. I know what he's feeling, Brooklyn replied after a long silence. Because I felt it when I gave my baby up. The revelation hung in the air like a ghost, moving between mother and daughter. Lois' face was unreadable, but her voice was soft. You need to be honest with Chase. He has always been honest with you. Brooklyn gulped hard, her eyes welling with unshed tears. That implies I need to tell him everything. I have a child. And that Dante is the father. Lois breathed sharply but did not speak immediately. Instead, she came forward and rested her hand on her daughter's shoulder. Dante was as young as you were. You weren't prepared to be parents back then. Brooklyn shakes her head. How can I tell him that I've been keeping this from him for so long? Alexis stormed into her office across town at that precise time, her breath coming in rapid gasps. Diane, who had been waiting for her, saw the pain on her friend's face. Sam was murdered, Alexis cried out, her voice breaking. Somebody killed my daughter. Diane's reaction was immediate. She rushed forward, throwing her arms around Alexis as she trembled. I'm so sorry, she muttered. Alexis drew back, her eyes sparking with pain. I want my daughter back. The grief is overwhelming. Knowing this makes everything worse. In a fit of rage, she snatched a stack of papers from her desk and hurled them to the ground. Diane wanted to offer words of comfort, but what could she say? I am here for you. Whatever you need. Alexis let out a nervous breath. Molly and Christina are on their way there. I need to tell them. Diane hesitated. Do you want me to stay? Alexis shakes her head. No. But if you see Jason, don't say anything. If he doesn't know yet, I want to be the one to inform him. Christina arrived minutes later, her face full of confusion. What is going on? Wait for Molly, Alexis said softly. When Molly eventually came, Alexis motioned for them to seat. Sam was murdered. The air became dense with quiet. Christina's face crumpled, her emotions pouring over, and she covered her mouth with a quivering palm. Molly, ever the sensible one, blinked in disbelief before instantly shifting into problem-solving mode. Who wants Sam dead? Alexis clenched her fists, her anguish transforming into a quiet wrath. That's what we need to find out. Meanwhile, at the Metro Court, Maxie sat astonished, shaking her head as she processed the information. Murdered, she whispered. This makes everything worse. Lulu sat next her, absorbed in her own conflict. I owe Sam my life. And Rocco's. She gave me everything back, and now she is gone. Maxie placed one hand on Lulu's. Don't carry guilt for things beyond your control. Lulu choked, her voice hardly rising beyond a whisper. I adored the man Sam was going to marry. I've never stopped. Maxie's eyes widened. I can't believe you're admitting that. Lulu exhaled. For me, it feels like no time has passed. I planned to tell him that night, before everything changed. Maxie nodded, indicating comprehension. Then maybe you still should. Cody stormed inside the tack house, his frustrations spilling over. Molly came inside right as he banged his fist against the wall. "What's your problem?" she demanded. He turned around, his eyes burning. "I'm sick of criminals running this town while guys like me get raked over the coals for every little thing." Molly sighed. "I'm here as a favor for Mac. Just get the dang documentation." Cody yanked it from her grip, his shoulders heaving. "Fine. Thanks." After she departed, he took out his phone and messaged Maxie. "We need to talk. ASAP." When Maxie saw the text, she acted swiftly. "Meet me and Lulu. We will talk." Cody arrived minutes later, noticing Jason talking to Diane. "Perfect," he murmured under his breath before approaching Maxie. "I'm freaking out," he said as he sat down. "Sasha's pregnant." Maxie lifted her eyebrow. "Did you know?" Cody paused. "I just found out." As conversations spread around the city, alliances altered, secrets threatened to be revealed, and the inhabitants of Port Charles became entangled in a web of heartache, deception, and fate. The night was far from ended. Sasha had always thought that some emotions were never fully gone, no matter how much time passed. That view was only reinforced when she ran into the hospital, her pulse hammering, after learning that Michael had sustained burns. It was as if the years had melted away, and she was back to being the woman who loved him wholeheartedly. Regardless of the decisions they'd taken, the distance they'd created between themselves, and the lives they'd established apart, she knew deep down that they had never completely resolved what remained unfinished. Their love had been genuine, strong even in the face of falsehood. But fate had decided otherwise, sending them on separate paths. The beginning of their story was like a dream. When she first arrived in Port Charles, purporting to be Nina Reeves' long-lost daughter, Michael provided her with a safe harbor. Their love had grown despite the deception, and when the truth was revealed, Michael astonished her. He'd forgiven her. More than that, he had decided to stand by her side. Even the strongest ties have weak places. Michael found that Wiley was his son, which changed everything. That knowledge altered his entire universe. He was determined to do anything to guarantee that Nellie, a woman capable of horrible machinations, did not get custody of their child. Diane provided a solution. Michael needed a wife to present a picture-perfect, stable home to the court. Sasha knew in her heart that she couldn't be the right person for him. She loved Michael too much to allow her past ruin his future. So, in an act of supreme sacrifice, she turned him down. Not only had she moved aside, but she had deliberately arranged a scheme to ensure that he married Willow, the woman who already considered Wiley to be her son. She and Chase went to considerable efforts to convince Michael and Willow that they had betrayed them. Their scheme had worked, and Michael and Willow's marriage had kept Wiley with his father. But, at what cost? Sasha had lost the only man she had ever truly loved, and the sadness had pushed her into a downward spiral. She had turned to vices to numb the pain, slipping into a blur of drugs and recklessness. She had gone too far one night, nearly dying after taking a lethal dose of Cyrus's medicine. It had been a wake-up call, prompting her to reclaim control of her life. But by then, it was too late. Michael had moved on. What had started out as a convenient marriage had grown into something more meaningful. He and Willow were in love, and Sasha no longer fit into the picture. Sasha, heartbroken and lost, sought refuge in Brando's embrace. A single night of love in the backseat of a car had altered everything. She had become pregnant, feeling that it was fate's way of giving her a new purpose. But fate has never been kind to her. Their child, a gorgeous newborn boy, died just days after birth. And, as if that wasn't enough, Brando was assassinated a year later, leaving her alone once again. Time had resumed its unrelenting march, and Sasha attempted to rebuild, finding solace in Cody's presence. But love was a tricky thing, and she'd never really found closure with Michael. Perhaps it was why, after a wild, impetuous night, she landed up in his arms again. Now she was carrying his child. The weight of that fact fell on her like a storm cloud, bringing with it a slew of emotions she wasn't sure how to handle. Is this the occurrence that ultimately forces them to confront their past? Will Michael wish to be involved in the child's life, or will history repeat itself, separating them once more? As she stood alone, one palm resting on her stomach, she realized that no matter what happened next, she and Michael would be permanently linked. This child would bring them together like nothing else had before. However, it was unclear whether it would offer them comfort or additional grief. General Hospital spoilers for next week, February 3rd to 7th, 2025. Jason and Sasha are caught up in messy pregnancy drama. General Hospital spoilers for next week hint at huge changes in a number of ongoing storylines. For starters, Sunny and Natalia approach each other. Meanwhile, Cyrus Renault is becoming increasingly popular. Is the plot pointing towards someone murdering him? Also, look out for Cody misinterpreting Sasha and Jason's chat. Will he presume they have an affair? Cyrus must watch his back. Natalia and Sunny come closer. The walls are closing in on Cyrus. Lucky and Liz are onto him and are working hard to uncover the entire Digitalis story. However, if he learns about their plot, Liz and Lucky's lives could be jeopardized. Once Dante and Alexis have more information about what happened to Sam, they may begin to investigate Cyrus. Of course, there's Joss. She is determined to bring Cyrus to justice at all costs. Given the current state of affairs, we may wind up with a whodunit. General Hospital spoilers claim that Sunny and Natalia will visit a cardiologist for Sunny. During the journey, they will get closer to each other. However, Sunny may be hesitant to add another member to his inner group. After all, someone had placed a target on his back, and Michael suffered collateral damage as a result. He would never want to put another person's life at danger like way. Nina and Curtis work against Drew. Cody misunderstands Jason and Sasha. Across town, Nina and Curtis will proceed with their plan to bring Drew down. They seek to ruin his political career and isolate him in Washington. Meanwhile, Drew makes a surprise offer to Willow. He suggests that if she agrees, he wants to buy a large house in DC where they can all live together as a family. Willow, on the other hand, will be caught between wanting to further her connection with Drew and feeling rushed. Will Nina step in and talk her out of saying yes? Next, Cody notices Jason and Sasha together and overhears them discussing the baby and her pregnancy. But he doesn't stay long enough to hear the entire talk. This leads to him misinterpreting the circumstances and believing Jason is the father of Sasha's child. The same news may soon spread over PC. How will Sasha and Jason handle this situation? Thanks for watching. If you like this video, so please don't forget to subscribe my channel and don't miss any update.